Sometimes life is crazy, unexpected, disappointing. Am I right? Especially if you're looking at 2020. And yet, I want to remind you that you and we can reframe the story. We get to choose how we see things and what meaning we give to events. One of the things that I think that's so amazing about humans is we create stories that shape our lives, our destiny, our actions. And sometimes when people talk about the difference between humans and animals, they talk about how we are the tool makers and we laugh and things like that, or we have sex for pleasure. And all those are great. And there are also animals that do that too. But are there animals who create stories about things? And I don't just mean stories like Hansel and Gretel and Clash of the Titans and Tiger King and Frozen. I also mean the stories we play in our minds, the stories we make up about our own lives. Today, I'm going to hopefully give you insight into how can you empower yourself to start changing a story that is not having a good effect on your life. Hi, if this is your first time here, I'm Rachel Stravelli. I am a writer, I'm a garden coach. I teach people to bring more of their self-expression out. I want you to embrace your whole self, to expand the way that you let yourself have creativity and self-expression. And one of the ways that I think that we can do that is by looking at the stories that we tell ourselves and the interior or inner dialogue and monologues that we have. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below, and there's a notification bell that will keep you updated every time new videos come out. And so you can always stay up to date and stay inspired. All right, so I have heard so many people talking about the frustration and pain and difficulties that they've had, especially recently with COVID and quarantine and all of the other things happening in 2020. And I do acknowledge and honor that these have been big experiences for people. It has been radically life-altering for some of us. And I also want to remind you that you have the ability to choose how you make meaning about it. Now, it doesn't mean that you can go create a whole new story that has no basis in reality. I don't want you to do that. That's not what we're here for. But what I would like you to do is look at what are the ways in your life that a story, either about something in the past or about something that is currently happening, the ways in which you've already built up a drama, a story, and boundaries in confining situations. Sometimes I talk to clients and colleagues who will tell me things like, oh, well, I want to do such and such, but here are all these boundaries and I can't do the thing I want to do because this person's saying no, and then there's this structure, and they feel very honed in and confined because of all the things limiting them. And while often it is the case that there are things limiting them, they've also played along with that, in that they're letting those limitations be the end of the story. And what I want to encourage you to think about is, what if it's not the end of a story? What if it's a little hiccup that the main character is having, but that's not the end? Maybe this is just where it gets interesting. So what if you started asking yourself, how could the main character, this glamorous, glorious person that you are in your life, how could she or he change the story? What would they do if they had the vision of 2 years from now? What would I do? What would this look like? What would that person do? What would you, as the superhero, the main character of this story, do if you knew, oh, I couldn't fail if I do this thing, or I'm going to come up with a creative solution. I just need to talk to 3 people, or I just need to pick up such and such a book. So one thing that you could do is take out a blank sheet of paper. I don't have a blank sheet here. I thought I did. Wait, I do. Here it is. And you could put at the top of that very question. What would the main character do? What would I do if I could not fail? What would I do if I knew there were 3 people I could talk to who by talking to them, I would get the insight for what I need to do to fix this, to change my story, to change my mindset. If you feel that what you're going through has made you get to a dead end, then it's time to input new information so you can change this story in your head, in your life. I am so excited to hear about how are you going to change your story. All right, feel free to comment below something that you think you're going to do to change your story, whether it's a book you're going to read, a new activity you're going to do, or a new person that you're going to reach out to in your life with this story. I would love to hear. Again, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button below, give this video a thumbs up, and stay connected so that you can stay up to date when I publish new videos every Friday. I have a mailing list that you can sign up for below where I send out free, inspiring, actionable things that you can get straight into your email inbox. Some people that I know who are on my list have told me it has increased their happiness in their life, their sense of empowerment, and their sense of autonomy. Have a great day.